So what's good, TMG fam? It's your boy L, and I'm back with another reaction. How y'all feel? Welcome back to the channel. Salute. Now, these next videos will make you question everything. So remember, it's for entertainment purposes only. Let's check them out.
Niagara Falls, located on the border between the United States and Canada, is one of the most iconic and powerful waterfalls in the world. Formed thousands of years ago by retreating glaciers and erosion, this place has gathered a lot of secrets over the years, with some terrifying enough to spook even experts. From evil spirits to lone animals, here are 20 horrifying things scientists found when they drained Niagara Falls.
No, now that I think of it, I don't think I've ever really heard any conspiracy theories surrounding Niagara Falls. So this is going to be a first for me, any type of information coming out about Niagara Falls that's coming across like my desk. Like I haven't heard anything before. Interesting.
Number 20. Cave of the Evil Spirit. Given Niagara Falls' long history, it's the center of a lot of legends and stories. Some of you who've visited Niagara Falls might even already know about this, the history of the Devil's Hole Ravine. It's a place that has long been shrouded in mystery and local folklore. The deep rocky gorge carved by ancient waters is as beautiful as it is eerie. But beyond its natural beauty, the ravine has stories that scare those who hear about it. Local legends say that the spirits of those who met untimely ends in the ravine still linger there. Some believe that the Native American spirits, particularly from the massacre during Pontiac's Rebellion in 1763, where Seneca warriors ambushed British soldiers, haunt the area. Visitors have reported feeling sudden cold spots, hearing disembodied voices, or even seeing...
There you have it right there. I'm of the belief that whenever you get like in an area and you worried about it being, having weird energy, bad vibes, paranormal, poltergeist, any type of stuff like that, and you get that cold feeling in just an area, that's confirmation for me.
Apparitions of warriors and soldiers. Whispers among locals also talk about strange rituals once performed in the ravine. These tales often suggest that the area was, and perhaps still is, a gathering spot for occult activities. Even so, many people continue to visit the area, but not before packing trinkets and other items for luck. After all, there are sayings that the cave is actually cursed. Before we go on, like this video, smash the subscribe button, and click the notification bell right now. Number 19. The Screaming Tunnel. The Screaming Tunnel, another eerie landmark in the Niagara region, is the stuff of local legends. Located in the northwest corner of Niagara Falls, this old limestone tunnel runs beneath what was once the Grand Trunk Railway lines. While it might seem unassuming, those familiar with its story know better than to enter it carelessly. The most popular legend surrounding the Screaming Tunnel tells of a young girl who met a tragic end within its walls. There are variations to the story, but the most commonly heard one is of a girl who escaped a nearby burning building, her clothes aflame. She rushed into the tunnel in a desperate attempt to put out the flames, but sadly succumbed to her injuries. It's said that if one were to light a match in the tunnel at midnight, her piercing scream would echo throughout, and the match would be blown out by an unseen force. Many curious visitors and paranormal enthusiasts have tested this legend, and some swear by the authenticity of the experience, reporting unexplained gusts of wind.
I was curious, but I'll take their word for it, you know? We don't need to go there, y'all, but we'll take their word for it.
Or even faint cries. Many others agree and believe the legend might have roots in actual events, given the region's rich history, while skeptics argue it's just the product of local lore. Number 18. The Niagara Scow. Niagara Falls is a stunning body of water.
Yes.
However, many watercraft and living things have fallen victim to it. Perhaps the most renowned is the Old Scow. Back in 1918, this flat-bottomed steel barge, commonly called a scow, was being used for dredging operations. On August 6th of that year, the scow broke loose from its towing tug about a mile upriver from Niagara Falls. Carried by the strong currents, the scow headed straight for the falls. Miraculously, it ran aground on some rocks, approximately 2,750 feet from the fall's edge. This fortuitous snagging prevented it from taking its two crew members, Gustav Lofberg and James Harris, on a potentially fatal plunge. The men found them...
Dudes had an angel on their shoulder, man. Can you imagine? That's what I think about with like those oil rigs in different places. Now, I know they're not sitting on a waterfall, but you're just out there in the middle of nowhere. And if Mother Nature decides to be cruel, what you gonna do about it? Nothing.
Themselves stranded on the scow, with the deafening roar of the falls close by, and the threat of the scow shifting and tumbling into the Cascades at any moment. Their plight captured the attention of thousands who watched from the shores, anxious for the men's safety. A daring, dramatic rescue operation unfolded over the next 17 hours, involving a line shot over the barge from the roof of the nearby powerhouse and a breeches buoy, a type of rope-based rescue device. Finally, in the early hours of the next day, both men were successfully rescued, relieving the tense spectators. Their ordeal and the ingenuity of the rescuers made headlines across North America. Today, the remnants of the scow still remain, rusted and battered by time and elements, visible from the Canadian side of the river. Number 17. The Hermit of Niagara. Here's another name tied to the infamous Niagara Falls: Francis Abbot. In the early 19th century, there lived a man named Francis Abbot, better known as the Hermit of Niagara. Not much is known about his early life or why he chose to live as a hermit, but by the 1820s, he had made his home near the base of Niagara Falls on the Canadian side. Living in a small cave or hut, the Hermit of Niagara became a local curiosity. He was a well-spoken man, fluent in various languages, and it was clear he had received a good education. Yet, he chose a life of solitude, spending his days reading, writing, and playing the violin. Many visitors to the falls would seek him out, intrigued by the mysterious man who had chosen such a unique life right by the falls.
Yeah, something don't seem right about that. That's rather odd to me, don't you think? Guy, highly intelligent, very skilled, decides to seek refuge in a home in a cave at the base of the Niagara Falls. That don't seem a bit odd? Maybe somebody that may know something and just felt he needed to get away. You know what I mean? But everybody knew about him being there, so it's not like he's hidden. I don't know, just something ain't right.
Despite his reclusive life, the hermit was friendly and often conversed with those who visited him. However, he never shared much about his past or why he chose to live in solitude, adding to the mystery surrounding him. Tragically, in 1829, Francis Abbot's life came to an abrupt end when his body was found near the falls. The cause of his death remains a mystery to this day, with some speculating it was an accident, while others believe it might have been foul play. Over time,
I agree. Sounds like foul play to me. Sounds like it. I knew something seemed odd about that. It just didn't feel right. Like a person, that's just not normal behavior by people.
The story of the Hermit of Niagara became part of local lore. Number 16. Meteor Pieces. In 2022, authorities urged the public to find space rocks that might have fallen around the vicinity. It was after a meteor, about a meter in diameter, shone across the southern Ontario sky that same year. The meteor subsequently crash-landed in pieces into Lake Ontario and along the shoreline of Grimsby in the Niagara region. Naturally, scientists were eager to get their hands on any chunk of the meteor. After all, it could easily be billions of years old. A single small piece could tell researchers a lot of data, things that we've probably been coveting for the longest time. Now, who knows? A piece of meteor could have easily taken a plunge into the water. Number 15. The Barrels of Niagara Falls. Niagara Falls, with its cascading waters and breathtaking views, has captivated the hearts and imaginations of millions for centuries. Spanning the border between the United States and Canada, this natural wonder has a rich history intertwined with tales of adventure, awe, and human audacity. Long before it became a popular tourist destination, Indigenous peoples lived in the area and revered the falls for its immense power and beauty. With the beginnings of colonization and increased exploration, the falls became a hotspot for travelers and adventurers alike. By the late 19th and early 20th centuries, Niagara's allure wasn't just limited to its visual beauty. The falls began to attract a different kind of visitor: daredevils. These thrill-seekers saw the roaring waters as a challenge to be conquered. Among the most iconic of these stunts was the attempt to go over the falls in a barrel. Over the years, daredevils have used various contraptions, from barrels to rubber balls and even jet skis, all in an attempt to challenge the might of the falls and earn a place in its storied history. Every so often, changes in water levels, maintenance work, or construction projects have revealed glimpses of these remnants. These traces are silent reminders of the audacious spirits who once encased themselves within, hoping to survive the plummet. Number
When
14.
will we learn? Mother Nature is like the internet. It's undefeated, bro. Undefeated. Just stop. Save yourself some time, headache, some hospital bills, all of that. Possibly a grave plot. Save yourself that. And stop going against Mother Nature, man. She's undefeated.
Annie Edson Taylor. Now, among those who tried their luck in braving the falls is Annie Edson Taylor. Annie Edson Taylor, an adventurous spirit with a determined heart, holds a special place in the annals of Niagara Falls history. In 1901, she became the first person to successfully journey over the falls inside a barrel and live to tell the tale. Back in 1838, Annie had led a life filled with various ventures, from teaching to traveling. As she approached her 63rd birthday, she hatched a daring plan to ensure her financial future and secure a lasting legacy. Her idea was to go over Niagara Falls in a barrel. With the help of a small team, Annie designed a barrel made of oak and iron. The interior was cushioned with a mattress to protect her during the tumultuous journey. On October 24, 1901, with a curious crowd watching, the barrel was sent adrift in the Niagara River, with Annie bravely sealed inside. Spectators held their breath as they watched the barrel get caught in the powerful currents, approaching the brink and vanishing over the edge. Moments later, the barrel reappeared at the base of the falls. Rescuers quickly retrieved it and were overjoyed to find Annie alive and relatively unharmed, save for a few bumps and bruises. Annie's stunt made headlines nationwide and became an instant sensation. Number 13.
That's not a success to me. I know people will look at that and be like, oh, she did it. That's a success. She beat Mother. No, that's not a success to me, bro. No. That's probably another life for her.
Charles Stevens. Charles Stevens, known to many as the Demon Barber of Bedminster, was initially an ordinary barber, but at heart, just like Annie, he was also a stuntman, popular in England for his feats of strength and daring acts. In 1920, Charles decided to take on the challenge of going over Niagara Falls in a barrel, hoping to join the ranks of those who had succeeded before him. For his stunt, he designed a heavy barrel, thinking that the extra weight might offer a smoother ride over the falls. As an added precaution, he attached an anvil to his feet inside the barrel, hoping it would keep him steady during the descent. The day of the stunt saw a crowd gathering, curious to see if Charles could pull it off. Crowds were waiting as he was sealed into his barrel and released into the river. The barrel approached the falls, and the crowd waited with bated breath for it to reappear. When the barrel was found at the bottom, it was clear that things hadn't gone as Charles had hoped. The challenge of the falls had proven to be more formidable than he anticipated. Unfortunately, Charles' barrel didn't work how he wanted, and the man didn't survive the stunt.
Told you.
Number 12.
Told you. And I know that some of y'all said, like, yeah, bro, I know too. Exactly, fam. Leave her alone. Her meaning Mother Nature, bro. That one lady who made it across, she might have a few lives. She might have lost one of them, though, cutting across there.
James D. Honeycut. On July 9, 1960, an event at Niagara Falls shocked and captivated the public. A day that started as a simple boat ride turned into a dramatic event. James Honeycut, a 40-year-old contractor from Raleigh, North Carolina, had a routine of taking his friends, siblings Roger and Deanne Woodward, out for boat rides on the upper Niagara River. On that fateful day, about a mile from the Horseshoe Falls, the boat's motor suddenly malfunctioned. Honeycut tried desperately to row towards the shore, but the current's pull towards the falls was too strong. As the boat neared the falls, the rapid waters capsized it, separating the three. Deanne Woodward found herself struggling in the water, but was soon spotted by two visitors, John Hayes and John Quattrochi. These men heroically pulled her to safety, and she only suffered from shock upon arriving at the hospital. Meanwhile, her brother, 7-year-old Roger Woodward, became the first individual to survive a descent over the falls without any protective barrel. He was spotted by the Maid of the Mist's crew and rescued after being in the water for several minutes. Surprisingly, young Roger only had minor injuries. However, the day wasn't without tragedy. James Honeycut, the trusted family friend and the man who tried to save the siblings, wasn't fortunate enough to survive. The mighty waters took their toll, and he sadly did not make it. Number 11. The Lost Treasures Beneath Niagara. Niagara Falls, while primarily celebrated for its breathtaking beauty and sheer power, hides many secrets in its turbulent waters. Over the centuries, as countless visitors have flocked to its edges to witness the marvel of nature, it's inadvertently become a repository of lost items. Jewelry, coins, and other small trinkets have, over time, slipped from the hands or pockets of unsuspecting tourists, getting swallowed by the vast and relentless flow of water. Whether it's a ring that slipped off a finger, a necklace that came undone, or coins meant for wishes that missed their intended mark.
I would be safe to say or imagine there's probably $1 million worth of coins in the Niagara Falls. Either by it being just generously thrown out there, people making a wish, or people just dropping them. I guarantee if one day that thing dried up and it stopped flowing and everything like that, you'd probably be able to get rich off of the money and the coins in Niagara Falls and the jewels and different things.
Depths below are now believed to be a treasure trove of these lost mementos. Given the sheer force and depth of the water, coupled with the rocky and uneven riverbed, retrieving these items is almost impossible. Moreover, the swirling currents and the natural erosion of the falls means these keepsakes are constantly being relocated or buried beneath sediment. For many, these lost items might hold sentimental value, representing memories of visits to the falls or significant moments in their lives. For others, they're simply material losses. But for the falls, each item adds to its already long history, silent proof, and mementos of tales of countless visitors who have come and gone over the years. Number 10. Stephen Pier. Stephen Pier's name is intertwined with the history of Niagara Falls. As an ambitious tightrope walker, Pier sought to make his mark by challenging the roaring waters of Niagara with his balancing skills. In the late 19th century, tightrope walking across the falls became a popular daredevil act. Following the success of the famed Charles Blondin, Stephen...
What is wrong with y'all? Like, I feel some people just be asking for it.
Pier, a local from Niagara Falls, was inspired by these acts and decided to prove his own mettle. Pier's initial walks across the tightrope were met with cheers and admiration. Spectators would gather, their eyes glued to the thin line stretched across the vast expanse of water, watching in excitement as Pier performed his daring feat. However, the allure of the tightrope and the acclaim it brought was strong. While stories about his final walk vary, it's commonly believed that after successfully completing a walk, Pier tried to repeat his act shortly after that. Now, delving further into the details of his attempted stunt over Niagara Falls might be too unsettling. Perhaps it suffices to say that challenges like Pier attempted carry inherent risks. The mighty Niagara Falls, with its thundering waters and ever-present mists, is not just a sight to behold, but also a force of nature that demands respect. It's safe to say that stunt performers know what they're doing each time they attempt an act. Every act is a gamble with death. After all, a single misstep could easily mean the end of their lives.
And that's what I'm saying. The risks don't equal the reward. The reward don't equal the risk. No amount of money is worth your life, fam. Like, why even? If you don't complete this, that's it. That's the risk. That's it for you. It don't add up for me.
Number 9. The Echo Club. The Falls Echo Club, located near the renowned Niagara Falls, is shrouded in tales and stories of the supernatural. This establishment, steeped in history and culture, has long been a gathering spot for locals and visitors. But like many historical places, it has its share of stories that venture beyond the ordinary and into the paranormal realm. Visitors and staff have shared tales of unexplained occurrences, mysterious noises, and even fleeting glimpses of apparitions. Some claim to have heard echoing voices or footsteps when no one else is around. These sounds, often described as distant, creepy, and unearthly, have given the club its reputation, and in part, its name. One of the most talked about spirits is that of a woman in vintage clothing. She's been seen wandering the halls, only to disappear when approached. Some believe she might be a former patron, or perhaps someone with a deep connection to the building from its early days. Would you dare visit if you got the chance? Number 8. Glenview Mansion. Nestled in Niagara Falls, Ontario, the Glenview Mansion, often referred to as the Pink Palace, stands as a beacon of the region's rich history. However, beneath its grand exterior, tales of tragic events and their haunting aftermath have seeped into the very walls of this elegant structure.
Sound like a brothel or something like that. Strip club or something. The Pink Palace. Don't that what that sound like?
Built in the 1860s, Glenview Mansion witnessed its first dark chapter shortly after its construction. An opportunistic con man, seeking to profit from the property, attempted to sell the mansion to an unsuspecting immigrant. This ill-fated transaction resulted in a life being tragically cut short, which eternally gave a sorrowful cloud upon the mansion. But that wasn't the end of it. In the early 1900s, Glenview Mansion became part of yet another heart-wrenching incident. Following a lively party at the residence, a couple was caught in a dire situation in the driveway. Their lives were cruelly taken from them, and the perpetrators vanished without a trace. It's said that the aftermath of that fateful night continues to manifest itself. The spot where the couple met their untimely end purportedly bears an eerie mark. The bloodstains are believed to reappear on the pavement, no matter how many times they're washed away. Today, those familiar with the mansion's history speak of the lingering presence of those who once walked its halls. Some claim to have witnessed apparitions or experienced unexplained phenomena, hinting at the unresolved events of the past. Number 7. The Ghost of Clet Hall. In the heart of Niagara University in Lewiston, New York, stands a historic building named Clet Hall. For many students and alumni, this hall is not only a prominent landmark, but also the subject of one of the university's most enduring ghost stories. Perhaps it's something quite normal. After all, every school seems to have its own ghost story. Clet Hall, initially constructed in the late 1800s, has been used for various purposes throughout the years. However, its most haunting tale revolves around a former resident, a priest, who once lived within its walls. Legend has it that many years ago, the priest took his own life on the 4th floor of Clet Hall. Ever since that tragic event, students and faculty have reported a myriad of unexplained occurrences. Footsteps in the empty corridors, doors opening and closing on their own, and a general sense of unease have all been attributed to the spirit of the tormented priest. The most chilling accounts come from those who claim to have seen the ghostly figure of a man in clerical attire. These encounters often describe him wandering the hallways, especially around the 4th floor, seemingly lost in thought or searching for something. Over the years, this story has taken on a life of its own, becoming an integral part of Niagara University's lore. While some dismiss it as mere campus legend, others believe in the spectral presence and treat it with a mix of respect and trepidation. Number 6. Haunted Cemetery of Drummond Hill. Drummond Hill Cemetery in Niagara Falls, Ontario holds a deep history and numerous mysteries. Originating in the 18th century, this site is more than just a resting place for the departed. It's become one of the most talked about haunted locations in the area, attracting those curious about the supernatural and history buffs. The Battle of Lundy's Lane in 1814, a significant clash during the War of 1812, occurred near this cemetery. As one of the fiercest battles on Canadian terrain, many soldiers from both sides met their tragic end here. Legends say that these soldiers, still tethered to the trauma of war, wander the cemetery grounds. Visitors often speak of eerie experiences, distant sounds of gunfire, ghostly cries, and even sightings of spectral soldiers. These apparitions, sometimes seen reenacting portions of the battle, vanish upon closer inspection. Another prominent ghostly figure is believed to be Laura Secord, a Canadian heroine from the same war. Even though she's buried here, why her spirit might wander remains a mystery to many. Number 5. Red Coach Inn. Nestled just a short distance from the roaring waters of Niagara Falls in New York, the historic Red Coach Inn has welcomed guests since the 1920s. With its English Tudor-style architecture and inviting ambience, it's a favorite among travelers. But for some, its allure isn't solely due to the hospitality or proximity to the falls. It's the tales of the supernatural that pique their interest. Stories circulate about a bride named Emily, who met a tragic demise during the tumultuous 1920s. She and her new husband were staying in the exquisite Victoria Suite when a passionate dispute unfolded, forever leaving an eerie mark on the suite's history. The outcome was devastating, and Emily is believed to have never left the inn. Guests staying in this particular suite have reported mysterious occurrences, faucets turning on by themselves, unexplained cold spots, and the soft whimperings of a woman's voice. Number 4. Millions of coins. The majestic Niagara Falls, known primarily for its stunning natural beauty, hides a lesser-known secret at the bottom of the riverbed. In 1969, to study the effects of erosion and decide on potential preservation methods, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers undertook an ambitious project to divert the flow of the Niagara River away from the American side of the falls. The waters receded, revealing the rocky riverbed and an unexpected treasure trove. To the surprise of many, The exposed riverbed glittered with millions of coins. Over the years, countless visitors to Niagara Falls had tossed in coins while making wishes, and these tokens of hope and aspiration had accumulated at the bottom. With the waters temporarily redirected, this shimmering pile of currency became visible, showing just how many people believed that a tossed coin and a silent wish would give them luck.
Yep.
As silly as it sounds, the coins did end up in the collection of the items discovered in the historic body of water.
I'll tell you some more places. The bridges in New Jersey, going to New Jersey, New York, all that stuff like that. I know it because I threw tons of coin as a kid growing up. Every time we would go to New Jersey, leave Georgia to head back home, my dad would wake me up just to be like, we coming over the bridge, son. And I wake up, get whatever type of change I could find in the car or what they had and toss it. He'd get close enough for me to toss it. So I know that times however many people have done that over and over, man, please. I know it's multiple millions down there. I just know that, fam. And you know they took it too. That's the conspiracy part. Why were they actually draining that or stopping the water? Wasn't no construction or maintenance. No. It was getting them coins, bro. Come on. We not dumb. We not slow. Come on.
The Niagara Lights. Niagara Falls, with its raw power and captivating beauty, has always been a natural marvel that draws visitors from around the world. But in the evening, this wonder transforms into a breathtaking spectacle of light and color. The illumination of Niagara Falls has its own tale, stemming from an initiative to further enhance the fall's allure during nighttime. The concept of lighting up Niagara Falls began in 1860 when Bengal lights were used to light up the falls for a special visit by the Prince of Wales. This early experiment set the stage for future endeavors to highlight the cascading waters under the night sky. Fast forward to 1925, when a more organized and ambitious effort was put into place. A group of business individuals from the United States and Canada formed the Niagara Falls Illumination Board. They aimed to finance and oversee a project to permanently illuminate the American and Horseshoe Falls. With the advancements in technology and lighting, they equipped the falls with powerful carbon searchlights, casting a radiant glow over the waters. The Niagara Falls Illumination Board has maintained the lights almost every night.
I ain't gonna lie to you, I could stand there and watch that all night. Wow.
Except for a period during World War II, when they were turned off to save electricity. In recent times, modern technology in the form of computerized touchscreens has been employed for controlling the dazzling light show. Number 2.
That's
human bodies.
Whoever did that was a genius. Whoever thought of that is a genius. That just took its allure and attraction to the next level, or several levels.
Niagara Falls, despite being one of the most incredible and scenic attractions in the world, hides a grim reality behind it. Throughout the years, thousands of human bodies have been recovered from its turbulent waters. The reasons behind these tragic discoveries are numerous. Some individuals ventured too close to the falls and were swept away by its powerful currents. Others were victims of accidents, such as boat mishaps or slips from nearby trails. Local authorities, in cooperation with rescue and recovery teams, have worked diligently to retrieve and identify these individuals. Efforts are also continuously made to enhance safety measures around the area, such as installing guardrails, warning signs, and public awareness campaigns about the dangers of venturing too close to the water's edge. In fact, in 1969, when the American side of Niagara Falls was temporarily turned off, dead human bodies were discovered, and more recently, 2 headless ones. Naturally, what captured the attention of researchers were the human remains. The origins and identities of these bodies varied. Some were believed to be remnants of unfortunate accidents, while others were individuals who might have met more sinister fates. And now it's time for...
Sound like mobsters might have taken a trip up Niagara Falls with some people.
Today's topic. This is what scientists found at the bottom of Niagara Falls that left them so disturbed. Now, I've mentioned that Niagara Falls was drained in 1969 for repair. However, scientists didn't anticipate the grim discovery. Beneath the waters were shackles and other contraband that seemed like they were tied to crimes. What's more, they also allegedly discovered mangled bodies that looked as if they either fell victim to killers or perhaps something more sinister that's lurking around the vicinity. Who knows? Perhaps more sinister things will reveal themselves the next time we try to drain the falls. Number 1. Lone deer trapped near the falls. Now, here's a pretty recent discovery. In 2020, visitors to Niagara Falls spotted a white-tailed deer isolated on a small island near the Horseshoe Falls. While vacationing nearby, a family observed the deer emerge from the island's lush vegetation. Concerned for its well-being, they promptly notified the authorities. However, the Niagara Parks Police and the Provincial Ministry of Natural Resources and Forestry decided against a rescue, citing risks due to the strong currents and the danger of startling the animal
I
into
had a feeling they were going to say that. Dang, that sucks, man. And you want to, but listen, man, sometimes you got, like I said, risk the reward again.
falls. Despite its isolation, the deer seems to be faring well. The island provides shelter and an ample supply of food without any evident natural threats. Experts even
That deer don't look well to me. That deer look like it's missed some meals. That don't look well to me.
suggest the deer might prefer its solitude. What's more, deer are competent swimmers. Although the rapid currents pose a challenge, the deer could probably swim safely if desired. Even so, it's understandable that a single deer attracted the attention of so many people concerned for its safety. Have any of you guys visited the falls before? Feel free to share.
No, and I often forget about Niagara Falls until it's brought up, i.e. a video like this. You know what I mean? I got to definitely put that back on my list of places to visit. You know what I mean? But yeah, that deer. So listen, I like deer meat. I'm not eating that type of deer meat. I'm sorry. That looked sickly, looked malnutrition, all that type of stuff, man. Something didn't seem right about that deer. I've seen a lot of deer before, and that one doesn't look normal. So I don't know what he was getting at with that. But listen, man, y'all get at me in the comment section and let me know what you think and thought of this video, man. Have y'all heard more conspiracy theories coming from this? This might be a topic for our conspiracy theory segment that we check out. Might have to look up some Niagara Falls stuff. Y'all get at me in the comment section, man. Let me know what you think. Stick around, stay tuned. Till next one, I'm gone.